Mother's Jake here with another battle after taking a bit of break to give my voice a chance to recover. But this finds me here in the Firefly, platooned up with my wife also in a Firefly on the Steps map. Now this was live from her stream, but this time you get my perspective of the battle. And I am making a halfway attempt to 3-mark the Firefly, seeing as in the last video it was in, I did state it's one of my favorite non-German tanks in the game, especially at the mid-tiers. The gun is just so good, and one of the only vehicles at this tier that share it is the Achilles, and then also, of course, the Tog, which that'll come into play later. But this thing has, basically the gun is what's going for it. It does not have good gun depression, does not have good armor, it's not overly mobile. It is good enough in those categories. You know, it can get around. The gun depression is one of the more frustrating parts. But it has just enough mobility, just enough armor to get a bounce here or there. But you shouldn't ever rely on it. The reason to play the Firefly is that 17-pounder. The fact that you rarely need to dig into premium. And when you do need to dig into the premium, it's actually more than capable of handling itself against tier 8s with some very smart play. As I say, it doesn't have good armor. Here's a bounce off the turret. But don't count on that. As you see, I was able to punch straight through the front of the T-34-85. And then here is another constant of this battle. You're going to see the two M44s on the enemy team. They're going to focus heavily on me. So if you see me doing some weird driving at points, that's most likely because I'm trying to throw off the artillery. The simple fact is that artillery seems to be locked in on me, and that's where I start to think about how many people must be using XVM. Because while I'm not some amazing player, my rating shows me as dark blue or purple depending on which scale you use, and that makes you a target, and people will focus entirely the whole game on you because of it. See, as is there. It's like he had almost no chance of hitting me, but still the artillery wasted a shot, which is aggravating for me, but it's okay for my teammates, because that means less focus on them. Now we've got a T-37 running Rampage, and now we are down both of our artilleries, and we still haven't made any progress over here in the east. It's mostly my wife and I holding back up to 5 vehicles with our AMD. He's been kind of running interference, and so is our T-50-2. And I mean, they're doing an okay job of at least attempting to clear the base. But really the AMD should have been just in. He should have gotten involved. And their AMD is putting a lot of pressure on. As you can see, my wife snuck a shot into him, but he's putting a lot of pressure on our teammates by playing it the way it's supposed to be. The AMD 178B is not a good scout. It is a very mobile, highly aggressive attacker and flanker. And that's part of why I love the thing. But he's also just absolutely irritating. He backs up or moves anytime I try to get a shot on him. But our Super Chappie should absolutely be able to get him, along with a little help from the AMD. Now, as you see, artillery still is focusing on me. They haven't landed a hit on me yet, because of my somewhat erratic driving. That's both artillery. And that's where I think XVM must be coming into play. Because there's no other reason that they should be focusing on a Firefly who's kind of towards the back, just defending. Whereas I know the AMD and the Super Chaffee, they've all been focused, quite a bit by the enemy tanks, but they haven't gotten a single shot of artillery fired at them. And now you're going to see smart play by the Jumbo on the enemy team. He knows he's getting spotted. And he's already thinking in his head, where am I going to get spotted from? And I'm going to start to hear shots whizzing by me. And one of them's even going to hit, I do believe, right there. He knows somebody's here. Because that's basically, if you're getting spotted when you poke any of the terrain over there, and you just poke your turret up and you get spotted instantly, somebody's in these trees. So instead of testing my luck there, I'm going to try to help the VK across the map. And again, this is where the 17-pounder is so good. It's, again, almost German-like. And now my wife's under severe pressure from the Super Chaffee and the ARL, and the Jumbo is going to be following up behind. Now I'm trying to get a shot. I'm already spotted because there's 3-second delay on your sixth sense, and that's me fighting the gun depression of this. If I had been in just about any other vehicle that wasn't the Firefly and wasn't Chinese or Russian, if it wasn't Russian, wasn't Chinese, wasn't the Firefly, I could have had 2 or 3 shots into that ARL already. Because the Firefly has that depression issue with only having -5 degrees. And there, I knew the Super Chappie was going to come around. And now I'm trying to get her to back up and even fire a shot to get her attention. Because I want the ARL to shoot me. But instead, I knew it was going to focus on her because she was one-shottable for a hit. But now, he missed a shot, I missed my shot. Auto-aiming, just wonderful marksmanship here. But with the ARL gone, now I have to count on the Jumbo and the Super Chaffee to not stick together. If they stick together, they can probably kill me from full health. But I see the Super Chaffee leaving the Jumbo. So now the Jumbo is dead. He just doesn't know it yet. And here I fire my only premium shell. Only 2 at the Jumbo to secure the kill. And now the Super Chaffee made the mistake of separating. And now I can spare the health to make sure both of them are down. Now, both down. I need to watch out for artillery. That's really my only threat right now. So here I am doing zigzags and driving around. Because the TOG is not much of a concern for me. This is why you never see me play the TOG. It's too inflexible. Because if he gets on base, which is obviously his intention, so be it. We can have all the time in the world of tanks, as Skill says, to deal with the TOG. Even if the gun is being very clumsy, which will happen with the 17-pounder for some reason. Again, very German-like. Both German guns and the 17-pounder are very accurate when fired at full aim. But if you just fire them at half aim like there, or just hoping for such a huge target that the shot will land, half the time it's either going to go in the sky or half the time it'll go in the dirt. See here, I'm able to find a better position to where I'm able to sneak shots right into the tip top of the TOG's turret and keep myself mostly safe and reset the capture. The AMD is cleaning up the artillery, and worst case scenario, I just annoy the TOG until the AMD caps. But I know a better position, and if you end up in the same position I'm in, then don't try to fight the gun depression that bad. You can come up on this bank, and you will still have enough vision to spot the base, and you can use this gentle slope to work any tank that has gun depression issues. This is a better position. See, now I'm really safe, and I can go full turret down almost during my reload. But now I'm gonna win this duel even if I miss a couple shots because of the health difference now. But finally, there's the TOG down, and almost 3,000 damage dealt with 7 kills in the Firefly. And that was an ace, along with a number of ribbons, including the Defender and a Top Gun. Didn't manage to get another kill for a Radley's, but still, it was a very high damage game, with myself dealing 2,840. We also had a VK3601H who did over 2,000, and then the AMD 178B, and my wife also had good games. But all in all, a nice solid game with high damage, showcasing what the Firefly is capable of, and the fact that you do not need to shoot premium much. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.